Have you ever helped someone and your whole life started falling apart? Ngozi was a young girl in Lagos, 25, a rising chef. She had big dreams, traveling to Canada, owning a restaurant, a name on TV, and she was so close. One hot afternoon, on her way back from the market, she saw an old woman by the gutter. The woman looked tired, hungry, and weak. Ngozi almost walked past, but her heart told her to stop. She gave the woman some money. Then, as she turned to leave, the woman grabbed her wrist. Ngozi suddenly felt a cold chill, and a strange vibration ran through her body. She looked into Ngozi's eyes and said, "You are too generous. May your hand stay full or empty." Then she smiled, but the smile felt wrong, like something dark. Ngozi pulled her hand back and walked away fast. She did not know that moment changed everything. That night, Ngozi could not sleep well. She tossed, she turned. Her heart felt heavy, like something was not right. Then she had a dream, a strange dark dream. In the dream, Ngozi saw herself on a quiet street. She was holding a bag full of money, her savings. But suddenly, a shadowy figure appeared and snatched it from her. Ngozi shouted, "Hey, that's mine! Come back!" She chased the person down a long road, but no matter how fast she ran, they ran faster. She screamed again, "Stop! Give it back!" The person turned around just before vanishing into the darkness and smiled. Ngozi froze. She woke up sweating, her heart pounding. She sat up, held her chest and whispered, "It is just a dream. It is just a dream." But deep inside, she knew it wasn't. Next morning at the restaurant where she worked, Taste of Heaven, something strange happened. Outside the glass window, a young girl in a brown hoodie watched quietly. Ngozi had seen her there before, always watching, never buying, never speaking. Her hands, the same hands that made people smile, failed her. Her famous pepper soup, tasteless. Her jollof rice, bland. Her boss, Chef Beggar, frowned. "Ngozi, this is not you." She was confused and scared. And as the days passed, things got worse. Customers complained. Others slowed down. Her visa for the cooking competition in Canada was rejected. And just like that, everything started falling apart. Ngozi was not alone in this world. Her best friend, Tenny, bright, bold, and loud, was her roommate, a makeup artist chasing her own dreams. And then there was Chuka, tall, calm, and always smiling. He wasn't just a friend. He liked her and he believed in her. When she laughed, he listened. When she cried, he did not ask questions. He stayed. But lately, Ngozi was pulling away from everyone, even Chuka. That night, the second dream came. This one was worse. She saw someone wearing a apron, cooking a special dish, and people clapping. She shouted from outside the kitchen window, "That is mine! That is mine!" But no one heard her. Then, a black snake appeared beside the person and whispered, "You gave it away." Ngozi woke up in shock and crying. Tenny ran in. "You were shouting in your sleep again." Ngozi whispered, "Someone took what's mine." 2 days later, Ngozi stood at a crowded bus stop. The sun was hot. She was tired and frustrated. Everything in her life was falling apart. Just then, a quiet voice behind her said, "Don't let her keep what is not hers." Ngozi turned quickly. The same young girl in a brown hoodie stood a few feet away. Her head was down and she looked scared. "What did you say?" Ngozi asked, stepping forward. The girl shook her head and walked off quickly into the crowd. Ngozi stood confused. She thought about chasing her, but her head was pounding and she was late for work. So she left. She did not know that was her first warning. Tenny watched as her friend slowly crumbled. Ngozi's food had no taste. Her health was failing. She was coughing and always tired. She was confused too. Her hands that were once steady shook when she tried to cook. Then one night, Tenny said softly, "Ngozi, I think something deeper is wrong." Ngozi looked up slowly. "You mean like spiritual?" Tenny nodded. "This is not normal bad luck. We need help." She reached into her bag and brought out a small card. "Mama Shade, she doesn't collect money. She just prays. Let's go tomorrow. The next morning, they walked down a quiet street near Agege. They entered a small cream bungalow. Inside sat an old woman with piercing eyes. She did not greet them. She did not smile. She was in shock. She just looked at Ngozi and said, "You gave money to the wrong hand." Ngozi froze. She hadn't said anything yet. Mama Shade leaned forward. "You gave your money, and they took more than you gave. That woman wasn't normal. She used witchcraft. When she touched you, it was a ritual. She took your glory." Ngozi's eyes widened. What did she take? That woman wasn't ordinary. She practiced in ancient witchcraft and spiritual darkness. When she touched your hand and spoke those strange words, it was not kindness. It was a ritual, a transfer, a coded curse. That is how she took your rising star. Ngozi's lips trembled. What did they take? Then she said something that shook them. Your glory, your fire, and your name. She used it to lift her daughter. You gave your strength away, and now it is cooking for someone else. Ngozi felt her chest tightened. What should we do? Tenny asked. Mama Shade stood. You fight and you pray, but you must go back to the place it all happened and speak your name. That place is where the transaction happened. Mama Shade continued. Spiritual things often tied to physical places. If a seed was buried there, then the uprooting must happen there too. That is where you lost your name. That is where you will get it back. That night, Chuka called. He had heard she was sick. Ngozi, I miss your voice, he said. I miss you too, she whispered. I hope you're okay. Ngozi wiped her tears and replied softly, I will be fine. He wanted to say more, to press her for answers, but he stopped himself. Instead, he simply said, please be fine. You are strong and you can do anything. When you are ready, I'll be here. Ngozi smiled for the first time in days, but deep down, she knew. Before she could open her heart to love, she had to take back what was stolen. She woke before the sun, white blouse and no makeup, just her apron, a mirror, and a bottle of clean water. She walked through the same street, same spot, same time of the day. And when she got there, the wind changed. She knelt by the gutter. Ngozi, she called her name. Once, twice, 7 times. She began to pray very passionately. As she was so deep in the prayer, she heard footsteps. The old woman appeared, wrinkled, hungry, and alone. You came back, she hissed. Ngozi did not flinch. I am taking my name back, she said. The woman laughed. Ha ha ha. You think it is that easy, huh? I have God, and He is merciful. It will make it easy for me, Ngozi said. Suddenly, a young girl stepped out from behind her. Ngozi gasped. It was the quiet girl from the market, the one who always watched her. Her face was tearful, and Ngozi moved close to the girl and spoke. This was never yours to carry. It is not your fault, but it is not your future either. You don't have to hold on to what was stolen. The woman shouted at her, Don't listen. You are nothing without what I gave you. But the girl shook her head. I am burning, Mama. This glory is not mine. It doesn't fit me. The woman screamed, No, she gave it. It is mine now. She stretched her hands toward Ngozi, but Ngozi raised the mirror. Let heaven judge between us. Suddenly, the wind rolled. The mirror glowed. The water in the bowl began to boil. And then, the bolt of lightning hit the ground between them. Every name you buried, release it. Every glory you hijacked, return it. Ngozi stood tall. The young girl fell to her knees. Mama, I am sorry. I don't want this anymore. The old woman screamed and fell to the ground, shaking. The young girl beside her cried out, Mama, your eyes. The woman gasped. She blinked again and again, but all she saw was darkness. Her voice trembled. I can't see what is happening. I can't see. She fell to her knees and cried, Please help me. Just like that, her sight was gone forever, and darkness became her reward. The mirror in Ngozi's hand cracked one final time and dropped to the floor. The girl cried. The woman's eyes filled with tears. I prayed, I begged, but God took her from me, my first child. So I swore that if I ever have another child, just one,
I will give her everything best in life, even if it's meant stealing from someone else. And when I saw your light, your rising, I knew it was enough to lift her. So I gave her your glory, because I could not bear to lose another child. Ngozi's voice broke as she said, "You stole someone else's life and gave it to her." She picked up her apron, tied it around her waist, and walked away. That night, Ngozi stood in her kitchen again, and she boiled rice, fried goat's meat, tasted it, and tears ran down her cheeks. It was back, a gift, a flavor, her hands, and her glory. Tenny hugged her tight. Chuka arrived at the door with Chin Chin and a soft smile. She laughed and whispered, "I got it back." The next morning, Ngozi returned to Mama Shade. She was not the same girl who walked in weeks ago, broken and confused. Now, she walked in with her head high and her heart full. Mama Shade was waiting, seated with her Bible on her lap and palm oil by her feet. She looked at Ngozi and said, "You took back your name, but never forget what gave them the chance. Carelessness." Ngozi nodded. Mama Shade held her hand. "This world is deeper than you think. You must always cover your light with prayer. Never stop, not when you succeed, not when they clap for you. Prayer must be your shield, always." Ngozi's eyes filled with tears. She whispered, "I won't forget." Mama Shade smiled and added, "You were born to rise, but the ones who rise without protection fall the loudest." Mama Shade poured oil on her hands and rubbed it into Ngozi's palms. "Your hands are healed, but remember, you are still in the world." She looked at her deeply. "They will try again. Evil does not retire, but prayer makes you untouchable." Ngozi nodded, her heart calm and firm. The next morning, her phone rang, a foreign number. She picked it up. "Hello? Miss Ngozi Okeke. This is Patricia from the Young Global Chef Awards. You have been reinstated and your visa is approved. A sponsor picked your story and you're flying next week." She dropped the phone and screamed. Chuka lifted her in a hug. Ngozi looked at her apron and whispered, "I almost lost myself, but now I know who I am." Helping people is good, but always pray first. Some people look weak, but they can carry bad things. Protect your gift. Don't give your light to the wrong hands. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories.